Welcome family. So I watched all AMGs, I've read news articles, read all financial statements, everything that is to be known about it for the most part, I've done. I've also went on the website for TransJamaican highway, but it's not really much anyways. So as you can see, based on the enthusiasm, I actually really like this particular stock, and it goes without saying that this is not financial advice. So in this video, we'll be breaking down TransJamaican Highway Limited. We'll be understanding how it makes money and how it's performing on the stock market. So if any other interest you, ensure you like, share, comment, subscribe, tell a friend. I have like 8 more persons reach 2K subscribers. So with that said, let's begin. I'm not sure if any of you guys are familiar with like Stockholm Syndrome, but it's basically a psychological phenomenon in which the abused or the abused person falls in love or get affectionate feelings as relates to the abuser. And honestly, I feel like in some respects that's what has happened to me, guys. Every day you hear me talk about how a toll road told me has to and everything there. So yeah, by the way, it's about the company. Alright, so TransJamaican Limited is a Jamaican company that operates the Mount Rushmore bypass, and it's majority owned by National Road Operating and Construction Company, NROC. They essentially own 20% as I know. And the Mount Rushmore bypass is a key transportational corridor for Jamaica, i.e. Portmore. Portmore way is very densely populated. So Trans Highway is really responsible for maintaining and managing the operations at toll road on behalf of NROC. Personally, how I see the toll road is like a trade-off. There is 2 things. You can take the toll, pay whatever price them charge, and then reach home on time and save gas. Second route is you take the longer way around and probably stuck in traffic, you know, for hours, you waste time, and essentially all the money there is stuck in traffic would burn up in a gas anyways. So at the end of the day, it's really just the convenience and the time. In addition to the fact that the toll road has no patrol, like, which is kind of luxury in Jamaica, because you know the creators we have, you know, go through on a like daily basis, just ridiculous. So how does this company make money? Evidently, on the concession agreement, you know, one of the biggest ways they collect money is through the toll, like collection or toll. But probably what you never know is that they also make money from advertising along the toll, you know, corridor. In addition to the fact that any like service stations or any like structures that are built up around the toll, they also generate some form of revenue from that as well. So the gas stations and so on and so forth. And as a bonus, seeing that most of the operation is being done on behalf of NROC, Trans also do get like money from the government to like help upkeep and maintain, you know, the toll road. So Trans operates in 4 main places as of right now. So you have Spanish Town, Portmore, Mapen, and Vineyard. The Vineyard Toll Plaza is located in Bushy Park, St. Catherine, and has been there since 2003. This has 8 toll lanes. The Spanish Town Toll Road is located in Spanish Town, St. Catherine, and has been in operation since December 2004. And this also has 8 lanes. The Mapen Toll is located in Clarendon and has been operating since 2012. And this also has 8 toll lanes. And last but definitely not least, you have the Portmore Toll Road, which has been in inception since 2006. This does not have 8 nor 16, it has 21 lanes. So just to show you the size of it compared to everything else. And if you're not sure what toll lanes are, it's really just when you go there, you see that big blue or whatever call them up, big blue thing like span cross road, you go pay. Yeah, that's it. So here's a few fun facts about Trans. So one is they're mostly solar powered. So if you notice, like if you look, you'll see like you have solar panels on them, and like if you're like coming from off the hill, you can see like this whole lane over the top is just lone solar panels. So that's good, renewable energy. 2, the Portmore toll lane covers more than like half of the revenue. Just the Portmore toll alone combines half the revenue for like everything else. So Vineyard Town, Mapen, Spanish Town, don't come nowhere close. Don't come nowhere close. Matter of fact, the whole of them combined don't produce as much revenue as the Portmore toll does. Say, and that's why you'll see some horrendous traffic going and coming. And the concession agreement that they have to operate the toll goes up to 2035. I mean 2023 now, say. But not to worry, they have the ability to exercise the right to extend that for another 35 years. That'll carry up to like 2071, say. Alright, so now for growth. Like, how they make money is just a boring company. So every July the toll raise, like clockwork. Been here long enough, someone know. Every July toll raise, just right before school for Starbucks, you know? So you can predict like that, but based on it, you know, them have like they have a threshold at which they can raise it to for that particular year, so they can't raise the toll higher than that particular price. However, in recent years they've been going closer and closer to the maximum, say, and if that's the case, then you can like predict how their revenue will grow, assuming that is the same amount of persons going to take the toll, say. And to add to their growth, they've been having some new development. One of the issues that the CEO, Mr. Ivan, was saying is that like GIO, like for every dollar they make, 35 cents goes to GIO, so they just buy it. You know, whatever it's like that. They just buy out the entire company. Essentially, GIO is Jamaica Infrastructure Operator, which all they literally exist just facilitate trans, which is just for collect the money from Trans Highway. So just buy it out. So based upon like this is like later from JC. I'm sorry, detail. So GIO operates on behalf of TransJamaican Highway Limited, which to advise that negotiations are currently taking place between Jamaica Infrastructure Operator Limited, GIO, whose is the entity responsible for the day-to-day operation of the Highway 2000 East-West, and TransJamaica, with a view to the parties entering into the binding share purchase agreement for the acquisition of 100% of the shares of GIO, i.e. the Mr. Biodola company, which is good. Say. Also, what they've also been doing is pushing their T-tags. T-tag is basically literally a little T-chip where like from you cross the toll, you don't have to pay anything, you just drive through, the scanner notices it. Even they show if you have low balance or just safe journey, and then yeah. Basically, with the T-tag, it'll kind of cut down administration, like, you know, persons would lose their jobs, give or take, but it helps them be more efficient because you're not fair to the transaction, and you cut down them administration costs, which is an expense for the company. Say. And one of the ways they've been pushing it, like me here over the radio, so I'm gonna really have no proof for like showing, but I'll search the internet to see anything. But one of the things I think they're doing, like you can get like some free trips for like if you travel 44 times to the toll for a month, which is ridiculous. And the more consistent one is the one where you travel 10 times for the week and you get one free trip. Yeah, you get one free trip. So you know, a regular person that goes to 9 to 5, if you go there every day, you get one free trip. You know, you can shut it, go somewhere, and when I come back, I have to go pay for the other one. But and I think the last major news, which is still in like processing right now, however, Trans has taken up the first right to refusal for Trans has taken up the first right to refusal for the new highway that is being built. So let's really look apart from Arena, and then so NROC looking to sell whole leg to TransJamaica. The Jamaican government is considering another amendment to the Highway 2000 concession agreement with plans to possibly divest the current portion of the toll road known as Phase IC to Trans Highway Limited. TransJamaica initially had the right to build and operate IC, a 20-kilometer stretch road from Maypen to Williamsfield, which lapsed more than a decade now. It was partly reinstated under the amendment to Highway Concession Agreement in Jamaica 2020. Basically, what is happening is that initially government was supposed to like build the road, and then like Trans would have first right to refusal for like operate that said toll road. So like some talks are happening now where either Trans is going to pay to like just facilitate their site and just operate and so on and so forth. So it's not finalized yet, but they're exercising their first right to refusal. So any offer being placed, they'll have time to, you know, yeah. And Trans been saving up some money. They have about 65 million US dollars somewhere in a reserve for like this particular, you know, situation. Alright, then a special, but yeah. Beautiful, 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 beautiful angel. Boom, 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 boom. So the dividends. This is where it actually makes sense. You see me? First, never get 5 figures. Not much like 10, 15 grand for a dividend. Anyways, so dividends, and this is straight from like the prospectus, and they've still been like using this dividend policy thing. So yeah, the National Road Operation and Construction plan to pay an annual dividend within the maximum allowable under the Companies Act. Maximum. Anyways, under the Companies Act, while also allowing for sufficient working capital and compliance with financial agreement. The company dividend policy is subjected to be available distribution, income, and reserve each year and may be subjected to change. The company projects from the average of 5.3% to 8.7% in 2020 to 2025. So between 2020 and 2025, they'll be paying between 5.3% to 8.7% each year. Okay, so that's the first part. You see me? And they've been paying about 7% because for the last 2 years, yeah, they've been paying about like 7% or 6 now. Say, and then after 2025, there will be an average of 24.5%, which is the minimum, to 35.8% thereafter, same time after 2025. So it basically will be like an average of over like 18% to 27%, like for the duration, which is ridiculous, like ridiculous. The second highest paying dividend stock, number one coming. So yeah, and this does not include like the potential upside from the new development, that the first one to refuse Alpha Williams Hill. Yeah, so we'll see what happens. But making it excited, yo. Ooh. Anyways, so normally they pay out dividend in like November, December area there, so for like a Christmas period, because that's when I normally expect it. But Shirola asked if they could get it earlier, like
Her name, Tamika Stewart. So she asked a question that was raised before, if we could consider quarterly dividends instead of once per year, and that was answered. We'll review with the board. Her next question is, when is the next payout, dividend payout? So I think that's a very good question. And I'll just say, Ms. Stewart, so we've always forecasted doing the payout at the end of the year, you know, sweeten the Christmas. But as we're going to be taking it to the board to review quarterly, we will definitely let our shareholders know what is the response coming from the board.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Suzanne. So let's move on to the resolutions.
Mr. Chair.
so no, well, last year they paid it in about like October, which is like a month earlier. You just never feel that, you know, that vibe. Plus it was like a surprise that they actually listened and made the amendment so quick. So kudos for them. And so far, since the inception of me having the shares from it listed, it has been paying dividends. It has been paying, and even though it did like 3 years now, it like never not pay dividends. So yeah. But before we go to the financials, cover at the end of the road anyways, I want to tell a story. So very long time ago, when I just started investing, I never really know much anyways, I had 3 rules for any company that I would invest in. One, the business had to be like easy to understand. So understand what I told you. You drive past and you pay them, you know, save your time, save your gas. Bam. 2, the alternative, which would be their competition, it should be the better of the alternative. So the alternative would be to go the long way, waste your time, wait it, yeah, and spend more gas. So I think based on that logic, it's still better. Plus, you know, you have smooth road and everything that to say. And 3, which probably is the hardest for most companies for me, is like if I come across the product, because personally I don't go open it down. So it's like me, like if it affects me, that means it has a far reach, and boy oh boy, it been affecting me. But yeah, so there's that, and it's not just put more tool when you go out and in place there. The tool is there, so yeah. And like Trans is one of those companies that like is the only company that ticks off all 3 of those boxes for me. Not only, but one of the very few. See, that was me. I still use that philosophy in some way, shape, or form. It's just that I'll start doing calculations and Excel and all sort of foolishness. See, but all in all, simple company, and that's how we make money, and it's been working. I would like them simple. So we'll just jump to the financials now. Alright, family. So, but I try to go for JC, but JC currently the maintenance. They want to feel like more recent, but this is the 2021. I don't think anything has really changed for the most part. No, I don't think so. Anyways, so we're going to start with directors. Good financials is not much, like not really significant jump out at me. So yeah, but anyways, so we know Mr. Charles Paradise. So I'm supposed to zoom up now, so you can read it, read them accolades. City, Julian, but most of these persons are in like in background really. You don't really see most of these persons' face. He was at the last general meeting as well. He is, I know him. I actually went to a meeting and saw him present. I'm supposed to do a video on that anyway. So Stephen Gooden is the head of the Wealth Asset Management and Investment Banking Division of NCB Financial Group. He's also a CEO of NCB Capital Market. So there's that. And the person who always see, always talk about Mr. Ivan Anderson. He is, Ivan has been serving as the managing director of the company since April 2021 prior to joining TransJamaican. So he is the person that you always see come general election and so. And then this lady as well, which is kind of accountant now. So yeah, that's really it. Like nothing really crazy, really jump out at you at it. As I said, the financials, alright, for the most part. They do record their financials in US dollars though. I think it's like no major thing really. Revenue is the same. Good thing, well, I think DuPont tells a better story, but by just looking at numbers, year by year 2019, 2020, you don't really see much good. One year them did negative, other year them in like positive. But I'm going to show you some. The only thing that I see would stick out at me was that the fact that their assets they depreciate. As in, people drive on the road every day. People drive on the road, so so normally like cash flow, they would put that, so they can see like them have some relatively significant 92,000 couple million depreciate each year when they drive on the road. Same for this amortization. Amortization is like depreciation in like intangible assets. Maybe like maybe you could put it as the like their permit to use the the road and income there. Maybe that'll depreciate or so on and so forth. But I'm gonna say not really much personally that you can look on for say, yo, this jump out of reality. I'll tell you, relatively boring company. However, you can see when I say profit margin was 14 2019. Remember, financial statements are dated a year back, so this will probably be 2018 figures actually. And if you notice, them they are going good. And then in 2020, the report for 2019 here, them did fall off, so them actually lose them time there. Them profit margin basically. And then they rebound. So I don't know if you did hear like the news where you see them say, trans rebound, and so on and so forth. Also, the leverage, they have increased them leverage because I think they dropped a bond or something like that would pay like 8% or something like that. So around there, so there's that. They increased them leverage, but it hasn't really moved since then. So yeah, another chart, as you can see now, they're rebounding. So I think 2022 got Q4 that now. So 2022 like supposed to be up because them been make some money because traffic and COVID don't know. So everything's supposed to alright. This is the dividend policy that I was explaining to you guys earlier. I'm gonna say 5.13% to 8.7 for 2020 2025, the average of 20 and 24.5 to 30.5% thereafter. So what have you guys made them here? Anyways, them toll plaza, I'll explain this already too, as well as the toll rate. So this is kind of what like so company has the right to set the toll rate each month. As I say, every July pan not them change every July. So there is that, and like the it's set by the concession agreement, and it is revised every year based on US dollar rate. So yeah, there is that. And as it relates to vehicles, the class 1 vehicles is like less than 1.7 meters in height. So cars and some SUVs, and most of the videos that you will see that was there was in a SUV. So yeah, class 2 more than 1.7 meter high and less than 5.5 meter long. So SUV is like truck circuit A. And then class 3 now, which is more than 1.7 meters high and more than 5.5 meters long. So like heavy truck and them up there. So yeah, that's it. The C, I must say JC kind of move like a crab right now, so I can't really like go anything. So the concession agreement enhancement, me want to show and say so them like current way and them some they will run through the tour like flow and them pick and diesel, the optic cable and them some they get commission from that as well. So them get with a decent amount of money. Under the amendment convention that are 2022, dairy development mean construction or other development work within 1/4 of a mile radius from the toll road at its closest point. So anywhere 1/4 of a mile. In the case of housing development, at least one boundary of which within the mile from the toll, including without limiting the construction of petrol stations, housing, zoom more, development, retail, auxiliary services, so on and so forth and so forth. Toll provides services and facilitate uses of the toll and is to be under development of secondary development housing or no greater than so basically that's a development investment in secondary development in houses and retail shall be no greater than 25% of any such secondary department and shall not have no control over money. So basically them to say them can get money but them don't really have no say into like what them can do. This is also them first right to refusal. The phase is estimated to be 28 or approximately 50% of the length of the existing toll. So this one toll alone that be 50% of it. So I'm saying zoom up, you can read it if you saw this zoom up more. But all in all, as I say, is like nothing crazy. Tell them like them boring. And then as well as relative valuation, all I think we'll put in there would be Kingston Wharf. I know thinking about it, probably gonna put like cargo handlers in there too. But relative valuation currently selling at 137. It's selling at 137, but like the fair value price right now is 0.8. Although you can't necessarily have a negative number as a trailing EPS. So give or take, you can't have the negative number for these guys would make a sense. So yeah, but as I said guys, relative valuation comparing each company to someone else and it's not always accurate, sometimes overvalue, sometimes undervalue. But as you must say, is a dividend stock. They've I'm sure you can find the sum in cash flow for sure. Dividend payout. I miss dividend payout. Dividends paid. See they paid, dividends paid, and they've been a pay. So even 2019, like they would have put that cause by 2018 and them come out 2019. So dividends paid, dividends paid, is me, and so on and so forth. So, all in all, that's really it, yo. I'm gonna say nothing crazy for the financials. Nothing never really jump out to me. So, yeah. As always, guys, thank you very much for watching. Make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe, tell a friend, and yo, catch you in the next video. Peace. Love you guys.